After traveling to the UK a few times, I noted that they have different rules for carrying liquids in a carry-on bag when I'm exiting the UK. When I left the US, I followed TSA guidelines for what liquids I could have in my carry-on bag. Upon exiting the UK, I had to follow the UK's guidelines on carrying liquids in hand luggage, which are somewhat different from US guidelines. Let's start by quoting the UK government's website. If possible, put your liquids in your checked bag. But what if you don't want to pay for a checked bag or run the risk of your bag getting lost? Many of us try to survive carrying a small bag onto the plane, what we call our hand luggage. If you choose to place your liquids in your carry-on bag and take it with you through security, based on my experience, there are two rules you'd need to follow in the UK. Rule number 1. Each container holding any liquid has to hold no more than 100 milliliters. You have to use a container that's 100 milliliters or less. Say you have a container that's 200 milliliters, but you fill it halfway. It's probably going to get thrown away. So make sure all of your containers are 100 milliliters or less. Most items nowadays are labeled in fluid ounces and milliliters, but everything isn't. So you might have to do a conversion. Rule number 2. It was my experience that the UK airport security folks gave everyone a little plastic bag. The same bag. According to their website, the bag should hold no more than a liter and measure 20 centimeters by 20 centimeters. And they wanted all of the liquids that were in our carry-on bag in the bag they gave us. And everyone was given the same bag. They also wanted the bag to seal comfortably. They say on their website they don't want you to tie a knot in the bag to seal it. You're limited to one bag per person. So it's just those two simple rules. They weren't very strict about the bag that they gave us containing a total of a liter of liquids. So they didn't add everything up. But you want to make sure, rule number 1, every liquid container is 100 milliliters or less, and everything liquid that you have in your carry-on bag can hold in that 20 centimeter by 20 centimeter Ziploc bag that they're going to give you. Now, there are some situations where you can take liquid containers larger than 100 milliliters. Baby food, baby milk, things needed for medical purposes. But you need to do your own research because you might end up throwing away something you needed or wanted to keep. There are also some duty-free situations where you can get around the rules. But what if you bought duty-free in the UK and you're making a connection in another country? Will they honor your duty-free purchase from the UK? You need to check the specific airline rules and government rules, or be prepared to travel a bit lighter. Based on the number of labeled trash receptacles I saw as I approached the baggage x-ray area, a lot of people's bags end up a bit lighter. Every country has their own rules. I made a connection through a Scandinavian country. There were people that got through security with me in the UK, but were flagged and items removed, liquid items removed from their bag that they had to discard in the Scandinavian country, which was very strict. And they said, but I went through security with this item in the UK. Every country has their own rules. Rules also change, so you've got to do your research. There are lots of articles over the past couple weeks about the UK changing their rules in 2024 regarding liquids that are allowed to be carried in carry-on bags. But right now, what I've mentioned seem to be the rules. I've put a link below to the UK government website so you can check for yourself and do some additional research. Although I'm super happy that you're watching my video, it's not a biblical authority on what you can carry into another country. Once again, you've got to do your own research so you can enjoy 100% of your trip. England's a great place to visit, and you'll have tremendously fun time there. Thanks for watching, and consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel.